Patrick, guess what came in the mail today?
Oh, what?
This.
Stick it in!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a very special episode, aka I'm losing track of the numbers, God help me, of M&K Productions Podcast. I'm joined here by my co-host, with the Spider-Man plushie behind her. That is Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. How you doing today, Kristen?
I'm good. Happy belated Valentine's Day.
Don't remind me of me and my single life. Good God, but yeah.
No, you could be my Valentine.
Oh, I did have like 5 Valentines. They were all my friends too. So you can have friends as Valentines, friends and family. It's okay.
Of course.
But we are not alone today because we have a very special episode. We're going over some film news and be talking about Sony's attempt to really just test everyone's patience of these spin-off movies, that being
Their own Black Widow.
Yeah. Oh, that's disrespectful to the Black Widow. But we are joined here by someone who I felt like was perfect to talk about it because he's a Dakota Johnson aficionado, and that is one half of the Infinity Film Podcast. That is Mr. Rod. Rod, welcome to the show today.
Well, this is a special occasion because this is a reunion of sorts. Even though, Mac, I speak to you about football every now and then, and we had a fantasy football draft or fantasy football league together. And Kirsten, it feels like 20 years since the last time you and I have
the last time you came on was when we talked about Top Gun Maverick, and we discussed the last Jurassic World film.
That was 2 years ago.
That long? That was 2 years ago.
That was.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
See, because I think the last time you were on ours was last year talking about the Oscar nominations. I think was the last time. It was myself, you, Ben,
maybe
and Zach. I think that was the last time I think we saw you.
That, or there was like another horror thing we did, I think maybe. Or we did something like that, because I know we didn't do Sundance this year.
No, we did. I didn't do Sundance at all this year.
I did.
How was it?
So good. I loved it this year.
Best film you saw?
Okay. So my favorite film I saw was Pony Boy, which is the Victoria Petretti and Dylan O'Brien film, and Thelma, which was the June Squibb movie. I don't know how that got picked up by Magnolia and not by like a higher, up thing, because that movie was just so hilarious. And then
one of our mutual friends, Darren, was raving about that movie too.
So funny. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And if I had to pick over A Real Pain or Love Me, it's the Kristen Stewart movie, Love Me. Okay. Oh my gosh, she deserves an Oscar nomination for that film. So good. Sorry. Okay, we got distracted. Sorry, Mac.
Oh yeah, hey Mac, you still there? Hey.
Yeah. So Rod, what have you been up to since the long ass time you've been back on the show? Holy
yeah, sorry.
Oh, my goodness, life. It's last time it's been 2 years since I guess I've been on this pod. So Ben and I are still going strong.
My phone just started playing an ad.
She wasn't interested in my life, man.
That timing, I was like, what the
my phone just went off and played an ad as I'm trying to quit all my apps so I could.
She said, "Yeah, I don't really care. Let's just get on with this so I can go to bed. It's Friday night. I want to be with my husband."
I got to go catch another screening of Madam Web. That's why.
Oh,
Kirsten. Actually, when she invited me, I was like, maybe I should just go see Madam Web by myself this time. At like 7:45 at night. And then Kirsten messaged me. I was like, oh, well, I guess I can't go see Madam Web again. Oh, darn.
Darn.
I got to be on a podcast.
I got to do a podcast. What was the question again? Oh, life, yeah.
Yes, life in general.
Life is good. Life is good. Mac and Kirsten, it's really good to see you guys. I guess recent news, my parents just moved out, so now it's just me and my sister living here in the house. So that's like the big news, like personal wise. No relationship at the moment. I wasn't in one for a little bit. Mac, I know I feel you on the single life though. I feel you. So that's good though. It's all good. Some things aren't just meant to last forever, guys.
Yeah.
When they're not the one, they're not the one. Kirsten, be lucky you found the one.
Took me some time, but everybody gets there. Everybody finds their spark and their love.
Exactly. And then
Dakota will come to you eventually.
I'm waiting, Kirsten. I've been waiting.
He's got to break up with Chris Martin first.
Yeah, well, that ain't gonna happen. So anyway, life. Podcast is still going strong, like I was saying. Ben and I are still kicking it. We just had our 200th
Yeah,
episode.
Hell yeah. Nice job.
congratulations.
So I don't know how we've been doing this for 200 episodes now, but it's still going. Surprisingly, people still listen. That's even more surprising because
What's
all
the
we do is
s-
ramble.
What's the secret to 200 to you getting to 200 episodes? Is it always
What's the secret? What's the
yeah.
secret sauce to 200 episodes? I think it's just the person you work with, and I was
Oh,
fortunate enough to you know be working with Ben for now this year be 4 years because we started working during the pandemic together. So yeah, 20 this June or July, I should say, would be our 4 year, yeah, 4 years like anniversary of working together. So I think it's all about the people you work with, and just making sure that your episodes stay fresh. You're doing something new every week, even though we kind of talk about some of the same old shit sometimes. And that's really the secret, Kirsten. I don't think there's really a big secret. I think it's just if you enjoy the people you work with or the person you work with.
Rod's links will be in the description below. You know where to find them. I'm going to link them all. Of course, I am going to do that. That's what I always do. But on this episode,
My
we're going to be
man.
going over some filmed. I was thinking about Samuel Jackson. We're going to be going over some film news.
I was gonna say you're let that loose, Nick.
We're going to be going over some film news, and then we're going to be talking about the new Sony movie, Madam Web.
Garfield? Oh, okay.
Not in 2
We
months.
know Garfield will probably be better than Madam Web.
Well, I mean, it's steep competition right now. And then we'll be talking about what we've been watching because I've been variety with my watching. I'm actually watching more TV shows.
Oh, I'm
You know,
very,
Mac-
very curious to know what you're
Mac, I'm
watching.
actually with you. Like I'm much more of a TV guy than a movie guy. Like I love both, but I'm a little bit more into TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Out of all this time, at least I've known you. And when I see your stories, you're always like, "Oh, I'm at the theater seeing this." See, I see you more. I thought you were more of like
Yeah,
a
because I don't really
movie
like
guy.
let people know what I'm watching because I watch a lot of shit. So,
I mean, we
I
don't
feel that.
judge. We watch some random stuff too.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to admit. I've watched Dance Moms. I've watched
Well, I
all
wasn't
the,
going
you
that
know.
far. I
I was gonna say, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Don't be afraid to be embarrassed about saying what you've watched. It's
But no,
okay.
but more at 11 with these news topics. But let us get into the news.
This is CNN, a network of Turner Broadcasting System.
All right, so the first news we've done pretty much since the strike ended late last year. We have not done a news segment in months, so we're gonna kick it off with my story. Guys, we gotta talk about the big elephant in the room, the big news that dropped on Wednesday. That, of course, Queen Latifah is ready to make a sequel to Taxi. Taxi being her lowest rated film at 9%. No, okay, no, I'm joking.
You mean Jimmy Fallon's gonna come out of retirement of hosting late night television
Listen, if we're getting a
and
Queen
announce
Latifah,
that retirement and go into acting again?
if I want a Queen Latifah sequel, I want a Last Holiday sequel. That's all I want. But
I'm not gonna make it on this pod today. I can't. I'm not gonna make it.
But we got our cast for the Fantastic Four with multiple rumors. It is confirmed that Pedro Pascal will be Mr. Fantastic. Vanessa Kirby will be playing Susan Storm. Joseph Quinn, Eddie Munson from Stranger Things will be Johnny Storm, and Massachusetts' own Ebon Moss Backrach. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He will be playing Ben Grimm. Guys, what do you think about this casting? Because we don't even know who Dr. Doom is. I mean, the rumor is that Javier Bardem will be playing him, but they're gonna wait till they start filming to maybe film Dr. Doom. What do you guys think? What are you guys thinking about this cast?
I think of the four that were announced, I think Vanessa Kirby excites me the most as Sue Storm. I feel like she's a perfect fit. I think Pedro feels like the safe choice. I still want a Krasinski. Not gonna lie, Kirsten. I still want a Krasinski. However, a part of me also wanted Dev Patel. I know his name was in the running for a minute there. I secretly I was kind of hoping for like a Dev Patel, like something really, really out there. Yeah, unique out there. So yeah, but I'm cool with Pedro. I love Pedro. He's a fantastic actor. I just don't imagine him as Reed, but hey, Marvel thinks he's the right fit. He's the right fit. And then Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, Human Torch, I like a lot. And then Ebon is perfect casting for Ben Grimm. He's fantastic. If you watch The Bear, he's one of the best parts about The Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I love him in that show. So I overall solid casting. Not my choice for the four, but I think they got it right for the most part. I just want to say, Mac, to your point, Javier Bardem is actually being rumored to play Galactus.
Oh,
They
Galactus. I'm
just
sorry.
haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's such.
they just haven't put pen to paper yet on that.
Oh my gosh, Anton Chigurh will be eating the planets. Can you believe it? Um, I really was hoping that Adam Driver was gonna do it, but I guess he said no because they did I think the report I heard is that he did the audition and then he just said no, I don't want to do this because I think Mads Mikkelsen was even reported to audition for a role, but he said he didn't want to do it either. So I thought it was when I heard Pedro Pascal, I was thinking like, okay, it's either going to be Pascal or Krasinski, and then with Last of Us, I was like, it's going to be Pascal because I like Pedro. I just think he's the flavor of the month actor. I think that like the hype around him is at his peak, especially with the Mandalorian still going strong. I think with like they're like, okay, what can we get butts in the seats? Will we get
John
Krasinski?
Krasinski.
Thank you. Yes, my nose is stuffy. John Krasinski, or do we get Pascal? And I think right now, like with Pedro, what he's doing, like there was a picture of Thanos, it was Pedro Pascal, it was like Game of Thrones, DC, fucking Marvel, Star Wars. He is everywhere, and like you kind of want that name. And I like Joseph Quinn from season 4. I thought he was great as any months. I know people were complaining about him being casted, but like I'm thinking, I'm like he's actually a good fit for that role. Like I think I don't even know who else would play Johnny Storm because in my opinion, I don't think we've had a better Johnny Storm. I like Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. I even like Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. I think they all made that character their own, and then I think Joseph Quinn will do a good job. Kristen, what about you?
Okay, so I enjoy Pedro Pascal just as much as the next person. Um, I was hoping Zac Efron would have been mentioned in the mix because I think he would have been great as remind me of the lead character's name again. I'm blanking on the
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards. Thank you. I think he would have been really good in that role from what I've seen in the past and from somewhat from discussions I've had about a year ago. They only casted John Krasinski to please the people that they wanted, and John was never signed on to do anything. Don't take my word from it. This is what I've heard from grapevines from people that I know. But so I knew when the casting was happening, as much as I wanted John Krasinski to be in the film, I knew he wasn't going to be because we already just saw him cut off in, the Doctor Strange sequel.
He got turned into a silly string for fuck's sakes.
He did. So I knew there was no coming back for that. So I think he did his thing and then was like, peace out. So I mean, I don't mind. I'm still going to see the film regardless of the entire cast because I really love the casting and I love the casting of the Thing from I think you see how you say it's Ebo. I think it's Ebo, right?
I just say
The
Ebon.
Thing, Ebon. Okay,
Yeah, I was just saying Ebon too.
Ebon. Okay, yeah, I really like him in The Bear. I think he's one of my probably my favorite characters in the entire show of The Bear. So I'm happy to see him get this like bigger role because like the last time I saw him in a film was in No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do here in the new Fantastic Four film. So, but other than that, I'm excited for The Bear. I'm excited to see Joseph Quinn. We'll see how he does in whatever he does next. But yeah, I think it's good. I like Vanessa Kirby a lot too. I also agree that she's probably going to be really, really incredible in that role. So
Now, I will ask this: do you guys think the reports are true that we're gonna get a female Silver Surfer in the film? Because that's what I've heard through the grapevine, that we might get a female Silver Surfer, or that the reports of this being a team from the '60s that gets transferred to current day, like this will be the '60s iteration of the Fantastic Four, and it'll be brought into the modern MCU.
So I do think it's going to take place in the 60s, and then my theory about this is they're probably either going to get stuck in the quantum realm and they get out somehow. Maybe after the events of Quantum Mania, they get back out because they have to explain where the hell they've been for so long.
yeah.
If they're going to, so I mean, you can't just do another Eternal situation. I love Eternals, but you can't just do another Eternal. Oh, because we were told not to, right? Like there has to be a good reason for them to be
Mhm.
gone for as long as they were. as far as the Silver Surfer thing goes, I think they are. And I think Mac, the rumor I've been hearing is Anya Taylor-Joy for Silver Surfer. I don't know if that's true or not. That's going to happen.
Mhm.
Uh,
I could see that casting though. I could just
Honestly,
picture
yeah.
that in my head.
she'd be a great. I mean, she's another one of the hottest actresses working right now. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing her in Furiosa.
Me too.
So it would make sense. It would make sense.
We're gonna move into my piece of news. This actually relates to Anya Taylor-Joy, and that's because Anya Taylor-Joy is going to be appearing in a Dune Part 2 in a surprise casting role. She showed up at the London premiere. I don't know what she was wearing. I don't know why she has that cape around her. If you go online to see the thing, it's not the outfit for me. But Anya Taylor-Joy is set to be in the new Dune movie, starring alongside Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, as she joins the cast, as well as new people with I almost said Justin Bieber, but it's Austin Butler,
No.
Florence Pugh, and Christopher Walken, as the new film is started promotion.
You want to talk about outfits
Thoughts
from that?
on?
You want to talk about outfits? What the hell was Zendaya wearing last night?
I don't know what anybody
Literally,
was wearing.
literally was showing her.
I don't know what was going on.
Literally showing her ass and chest out there. So like, Tom has to be sick. First, she gets double teamed in a damn teaser trailer. Now she's wearing all this. Like, this man is having like he's like, my queen, what are you doing?
I don't know what was going on with the Doom premiere outfits. I mean,
It's
not
symbolism.
my fashion choices. I'm just waiting for I would love someone to show up at the Dune premiere or the next Dune premiere, whatever that is, the LA premiere, New York premiere, wherever that goes. They show up like Adam Sandler with the gym shorts and the t-shirt.
Cargo shorts,
And
baby.
yeah. And they're like, all right, give me my Doom popcorn. I'll see you inside. Give me that Doom popcorn bucket and I'll see you inside. Like the normal theater goers, you know. But anyways, Anya Taylor-Joy, starring in Dune 2. Thoughts?
I mean, I like her a lot as an actress. I kind of so I saw the rumor on Twitter, and then when Variety, I think it was Variety Kirsten who reported it, I was like, oh well, okay, well that kind of ruins the surprise for everybody else. So I don't know if she's gonna have a big or a small role. I don't know the exact role she's playing.
I don't know
Yeah.
either. They didn't say.
So all of us have heard nothing but great things about Dune Part 2 based off those first reactions that it's the next sci-fi map. Speaking of which, I have a problem. I'm really tired of every time a new sci-fi movie comes out and is great, it's labeled the next sci-fi epic for the next 10 years. Like nothing will ever top this. Remember just saying about Blade Runner 2049, 2017?
I love Blade Runner 2049. I think that movie is unbelievably awesome.
See,
It's
I just found one of them right here, Mac.
Every Denis Villeneuve. That's why it's every Denis Villeneuve movie they say is the next sci because
I love him as a director.
No, I love him too. I'm just saying, like every time that Rod's right, every time there's a sci-fi movie, it's like, yep, for next 10 years we're set. This is because I swear they said the same thing about Arrival, if I'm not mistaken. I was like,
Yes, they did.
Arrival comes dead lower ranked for me on the Denis Villeneuve scale.
I like the
There's
Arrival.
others I will put
Here's the with
higher.
Denis Villeneuve, right? He's gonna make a movie one year about the creation of air conditioning units, and it's gonna be labeled the greatest biopic of all time. That's where we're at with Denis Villeneuve now.
Hear
Okay.
me out. Denis Villeneuve, he did Moonfall instead of Roland Emmerich.
I mean, it'd be the greatest moon movie of all time. Like, better than the moon with Sam Rockwell. I mean, you just forget gravity, forget all of that, forget the Mars shit, all of it. It's come on now, Moonfall, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Oh god, not
But I'm excited for Anya Taylor-Joy. I am. I rewatched The Menu and I love her.
Great movie.
Oh my god, yeah.
she's great in that film.
She's an incredible actress, and I just am good. I'm glad she's got out of the typecasting because for a while I was scared she was gonna be like the horror girl from like The Witch and then Split. but she's really expanded more, and I'm really excited for Furiosa. Furiosa will be the first Mad Max movie I will attempt to go see in theaters. I didn't see Fury Road in theaters.
You better see it because I really want to talk about that film for the show.
Wasn't even alive when the first 3 came out. And then Fury Road came out.
Neither was I.
I was like, what the hell is Fury Road? And like, I knew Mad Max. I just didn't know that. And then, it's awesome. And I wish I saw it in theaters. And I'm going to see Furiosa because it kind of looks like a carbon copy of Fury Road, and I'm all for it. And, but I'm excited for her to be in Dune because I still have to watch the first Dune because I need to finish reading the book, then watch the movie. I'm like the slowest. Don't judge me.
I'm actually going to see it thanks to the AMC Dolby event that they're going to do. So I'm going to go see it. Then I'm excited. My husband and I are going to rewatch Dune because we really haven't seen it since it came out in theaters, the first Dune. And then as a joke, my husband got me not only Dune on Blu-ray, but he also got me the David Bowie Dune.
What do you mean? That was peak cinema.
Mac never change.
Yep.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. There are some aspects of the David Lynch Dune movie that is actually like with better. Like I give him effort for trying because at that time I don't think,
even though he says it's the worst film he's ever worked on.
I give him credit because there's only so much you can do, especially in the 80s like that. Like for how fast
I think
Dune
that was
is.
so ambitious at the time to put this out.
Yeah,
Dune out in theaters. It was
Dune only works now because of the technology we have and everything like that. But for the 80s, I mean, we know we had Star Wars, but to do Dune like that, I think it was just it wasn't gonna work.
But I'm gonna watch the older Dune after we finish watching the second part of Dune.
Why would you do that?
Because the whole well, I have to do it because my husband really wants to do it, and I want to do it too.
Okay.
You do things for the people you love. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy, don't forget to get your Dune popcorn buckets, sandworm popcorn buckets. Nope.
Yeah,
your butthole bucket.
Nope.
They knew they were doing that.
We just did an episode with Zach this past week, and he showed us his the Dune popcorn bucket, and I called it something else. I'm not going to repeat what I called it on this show just because
we've heard people call it all over the internet what it is. We'll keep a PG here, but
anus.
What?
Anus. It was an anus popcorn bucket.
Okay,
Anus.
yes, we all know. Yes, put that with the emphasis on your French with that. Okay, Mac, what's your next?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
keep it a PG for sure.
Kristen, a film that means a special place in my heart because it was our first screener, like the first ever movie I got early. We got to watch early. I got to watch early. Like this is the first in 2020, and that's Greenland. The sequel, Greenland Migration, starts filming in April, and I'm excited because honestly,
you did like that more than me.
Greenland is one of the better disaster movies because it actually makes me care about the characters. And I like the concept of it was pretty cool. And I thought the first movie was really good because I think Gerard Butler is just in a weird era where he's just making disaster movies. So I guess he found that market of like, I'm gonna make this shit. This is gonna be my money. And like, Greenland was good. And it ended, the world ended, but they're gonna try it. And I think I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. So Rod, did you see Greenland?
I did see Greenland, and I was actually very impressed with it because, like you said, they actually made me give a shit about the human character. Oh, sorry, keeping it PG. They actually made me give a crap. Okay, well, they made me give a shit about the human characters. To me, Mac, and actually having now seen it, Greenland is the disaster movies, kind of what Godzilla -1 did to monster movies. Because I didn't give a two absolute fine doo-doos about any human characters in a lot of monster movies. Godzilla -1 made me care about that, and then so Greenland's kind of the same situation. I don't really want to see a sequel though because I don't know what they can do with it.
It reminds me of remember that movie 2012, Roland Emmerich's masterpiece.
You mean the genius that is Roland Emmerich? You mean the man behind Moonfall? As we bring that up,
we got to do a Roland Emmerich podcast, but with 2012,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
I'm gonna agree on that and say that's a hard pass.
No, we're gonna like it.
No.
Okay, so 2012. The way 2012 ended, it ended like, hey, Africa is the only continent that's effective, and they're actually gonna do they actually were planning on doing a TV show sequel, like, and it failed miserably, like a pilot. And like, now that I'm thinking about it,
I
like,
wonder why.
I'm imagining, like, I'm hoping is Greenland migration isn't the same like that, where they're trying to just do that, like the whole colonization of like wherever they in Greenland, and like, because like the way the last shot is, I'm like, I don't think you can rebuild that, even with like the best minds you have alive still.
No.
Like, you can't
There's
rebuild.
no
You can't rebuild
purpose.
that. There's no way.
I feel like there's no purpose for a Greenland sequel. I just was like, all right,
Listen, they should have kept
they
King
got
Batch
to the
alive.
final destination. They'll be fine
They should have kept
for
King Batch.
now.
They gotta keep King Batch
No, no
alive.
more
and he
King
would-
Batch. No
he
more
was
King
fine.
Batch.
No, he was
more
fine in that
King Batch.
movie.
No
I was sad
more
because like
King Batch. Let him keep working with Mick G. It's
listen,
fine.
but that backflip though. No, but I'm excited for
Jesus.
I'm excited for the sequel because I'm curious. Because like, I don't know, I think it'll be probably be cool. Because I thought the first one just had a lot of heart to it. So maybe, they keep the same one and do a little thing. And I like how Rod mentioned how this is the -1, because I have literally just watched Godzilla -1, and I'm ashamed because that would have been number 1 on my list last year, because this is such a good damn movie. And I was trying to get my mom to watch it. Like, there's this YouTuber I watch, he's called Pointless Hub. He did a review about Godzilla 2014, and he describes it perfectly with the MonsterVerse one. He's like, the Godzilla -1 is a horrific asshole who just wants to fuck shit up. And then while Godzilla 2014 is he's just neutered compared to -1. We should talk about Godzilla in the next episode. MonsterVerse is coming next month.
Okay.
Look, I'm excited for monster. Look, I love all monster movies, no matter how dumb the human characters are. But Godzilla -1 kind of ruined all other monster movies for me. I'm not gonna lie.
I
movie
haven't
was
seen it
absolute
yet.
perfection.
It's
So
amazing.
I'm kind of bummed. I just have to watch it yet because at the time it was coming out, I saw a bunch of other stuff and I just didn't get to see -1. I don't know why I didn't.
It
Kristen,
came out like
you're gonna love it. You're
it
gonna
came
love
out like low key. That was the problem, because like December, like all the big stuff came out. Then this little film, because
I know, and I saw all the big stuff except Godzilla movies.
literally
So obviously I was missing out.
the only movie I cared about in December was Iron Claw. And then like I remember I saw it and I was like, there's a Godzilla movie? And I was like, oh, it's Toho's movie. And I was like, oh, okay, no. And then everyone's like, did you see -1? I'm like, wait, what? And then I
I
watched
did
it.
love their reaction when they were nominated, seeing how the cast the crew got together, that when they celebrated their nomination, I thought that was so cute.
The director said
That was a
that. Go ahead.
touching moment. It was a very touching moment. Yeah.
I read that apparently the Spielberg told the director that he saw it like 3 times, and like the director's like, Spielberg is like God to me. So what do I do now? Like that I met God. It's like that. I just like that. And then like the budget is like super small for that movie. Like when you see what they were able to do with that small budget, it makes it even more impressive. But
They made it for like $12, and it's fantastic.
it's great, especially that atomic breath scene. Oh my god, dude!
Oh my
Holy
lord!
Yeah. Woo! Kristen, you gotta watch -1.
I will.
do.
Don't worry.
I will do. We should do a whole episode on Godzilla -1. I would be down for that. Talk about like the best.
Can I-
God-
We'll
Can
talk
I be
about
there?
it.
Can I be there?
Yes.
I want to be there.
Sure.
Yes. All right,
Yes.
Kristen. What's your
Uh,
other news
All
before?
right. Well, we'll make it quick because I am anxious to talk about Madam Web. But speaking of another Oscar nominated film, the Barbie fight scene with Michael Cera was supposed to have a big surprise actor featured in that scene. You know, when Michael Cera and America Ferrera and the daughter in the film are driving out of Barbie Land first, but then they stop, and then there's that construction scene. Well, for Q&A for the Happy, Sad, and Confused podcast, Michael Cera went on and revealed that the big fight scene he has with the construction worker Ken's was supposed to have Ben Affleck, but he dropped that out of the film.
See, it would be
Don't
funny.
know why.
It would be funny if you said like Mark Wahlberg, because
Oh,
like
I do. Ben Affleck dropped out of the Barbie movie because of his commitment of last year's sports drama, Air. So he couldn't do it. So he had the NSYNC dyed bleach hair while he was doing that. Did he get the bleach hair? I don't remember.
It was like some
It's been a minute.
blonde. It's like a few blonde elements in that hair when he used in air.
I forgot. It was been a minute since I've looked at anything related to that film. So yeah.
That's weird because like in cases we hear about that with actors like not doing one movie and doing another movie, it's usually like the other movie they do is like not that good. But in this case, Arrow was actually a really good movie. So it's like,
oh no, do you know what I'm thinking of his hair was from?
What?
The Last Duel. Oh my god.
But like his Arrow was actually good movies, but I think
Arrow was good, but I forgot about it.
It would have been weird just seeing Ben Affleck in Barbie. I'm like, what? Because like I already saw John Cena as a mermaid. I don't think I want to see Batman in fucking Barbie just being like, just a freaking like. First of all the Kens are like maybe in their 30s, sometimes 40s. Like Ben Affleck in his 50s. That's like weirder, to be honest with you, for taking it down like that.
Well, Ben Affleck is 51.
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling is 43. So, and Michael Cera, the new face of Sarah V, is 35. So,
you're telling me a skinny 35 Michael Cera would have kicked Ben Affleck's ass.
Still looks the same.
That ain't happening.
As he did when he was starring in Superbad.
I was gonna say Scott Pilgrim. Rod, what do you think about Ben Affleck potentially being in Barbie but dropping out?
Yeah.
I like how the first line in this article goes from Bruce Herring from Deadline. It says, Michael Cera fought when Batman couldn't.
Oh.
You know, I mean, it would have been cool to see. Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like Ben Affleck in a Barbie movie will kind of just sour my mood a little bit.
Well, to be fair, there was that quote unquote, since we're talking about the Batman himself and Ben Affleck, there was that Justice League joke in the film.
Yeah, there was yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, there was. I forgot about that Justice League joke. I have to rewatch Barbie. I haven't seen Barbie since I saw it on theater, so I gotta go back and rewatch it. It's been a minute.
I've watched it like 4 times since.
Does it get better for you each time?
I think it gets better a little bit more each time. I think I just have a soft spot for it, and I think it's now become more of a comfort movie for me. And
there you go.
That's what I think. I do really like it I still have the same thoughts. I think a little bit more as when we talked about the movie on our podcast, but yeah, I think it's more of a comfort thing for now. But
you know,
it's a big issue with the curse. I think that the third act like confrontation goes on for a bit too long. That's like my one big issue with the movie.
I could see that.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that you mentioned comfort films. It's like literally at the time of this recording on February 16th, Oppenheimer's on Peacock, so I'm probably gonna watch that tonight. That's my comfort film. So now both
that's an interesting comfort choice.
Very interesting comfort.
So both he's literally me. He is me. He's literally me. I relate to him when he's all stressed out like this. Like that's me. That's literally me at work, just like at my computer.
You gotta teach Kirsten like quantum mechanics.
Yes.
Oh God. I got
but no, I think Barbie. I watched Barbie like a few weeks ago. My mom and sister were watching it because I just wanted to see the last joke. Still makes me laugh when she's like the gynecologist. That shit made me fucking laugh.
That was hilarious.
I don't know why that was funny to me. Like
so funny.
I don't
There's some really solid. There's some really good, great jokes in that. Sorry, I couldn't speak for a second.
Great jokes.
Yes, but it's Ryan Gosling who steals the entire film. Gosling.
The Helen Mirren joke actually had me laughing. They're like, note to directors, don't cast Margot Robbie as the main lead. That was what when I heard
that was hilarious.
It's spot on.
Everyone in the theater died.
Very spot on.
It was awesome.
Yeah. That like everything in Barbie Land, I really, really liked a lot.
Production design is really great.
Stellar, so good.
Alrighties, guys. I think that was the news. Mac, you want to wrap this up as we move this into our next segment?
Yeah, so that was the news for this edition of the podcast. And now we get into the topic. And today's topic, we're going to be covering Madam Web.
This is an emergency. That man is trying to kill you. If you want to live, you have to trust me. What is going on? I can see the future. Let's try that again.
Those girls have no idea the power they can unlock. I will kill them first.
Get down!
Madam Web, exclusively in cinemas.
All right, so tonight's topic, we're talking about Sony's newest Spider-Man spinoff that has nothing to do with Spider-Man, but they still keep doing these movies. It's 2024's Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson, directed by S.J. Clarkson, from a screenplay written by Burke Sharpless, Matt Shazam, Claire Parker, and Clarkson herself. And what this film is about Cassie Webb confront her past while trying to save 3 young women in their future from Raheem, or Ezekiel Sims, played by God, I can't pronounce his name, Tahar Rahim. The film also stars Sydney Sweeney, Isabella Merced, and Celeste O'Connor, and it also stars Emma Roberts, Mike Epps, and Adam Scott. I don't give a shit. Madam Web is
You sound like Sony right now.
so Adam Webb is Adam Webb. Wow. Hold up.
Adam Webb.
Adam Webb. Okay.
Adam
so,
Webb.
Before we get into this, I need to give some backstory. So, as many of you know, Sony has
A track record.
how do we say, is Sony like the compulsive hoarder of just like wanting to keep the good times alive? Because I'm gonna say that. Go ahead.
I think they use whatever they have at this point, since they can't say like Peter Parker or Aunt May. They go, we use whatever we got.
All right, so basically Sony has the rights to the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery, but Disney has the rights to Peter Parker, if that's correct. Is that correct? Like they have the mainline Spider-Man? Okay, so Sony has everything else, and it will refuse to give it up, like no matter what. So it started in 2018. We got Venom, and they said we're gonna do a spin-off movie with everyone that's not Spider-Man, because we can't use it. The only Spider-Man we have is Miles Morales, but that's okay. And Peter B. Parker, and literally all the good Spider-Man that we will be building in the MCU, but I digress. So Venom made a ton of money, so they said, let's keep doing it. Here's Venom 2, which was okay. It's not as good as the first Venom. And then the writers for Venom 2, Sony's like, hey, you want to write Morbius? And Morbius was a film that was pushed back, and that was, infamous. And then they said, hey, you want to make a Madam Web? And when Madam Web was announced, everyone was like, what the fuck? And then, Madam Web is an older woman. So here's 30-something-year-old Dakota Johnson playing her. And you're like, oh, okay. So is Spider-Man going to be in the movie? Well, no, because we don't have the rights to them, even though it was reported that they wanted Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire to be in it. So they said, okay, how do we get past that? Let's have Ben Parker and Mary Parker in there. Safe. And then they're like, I'm having a baby.
Adam Scott.
We're having a baby, but we can't say the name Peter. We can't. So, and then they also announced El Muerto with Bad Bunny and Kraven the Hunter, but he's an animal lover. So we are truly in a dark time.
Well, they're not. They axed the Bad Bunny thing. That's not happening anymore.
No, it's still in development, apparently. They just took it off the release date. That's what I heard. But yeah, okay. we have Madam Web, and this isn't the only Sony spinoff movie we're getting this year, because we're getting Kraven the Hunter in August, and holy hell, I don't know. Like if Kraven the Hunter has a lot on it, then it can be better than this film. But this film is getting curb stomped by everyone. I think currently it's sitting at a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's literally 1% lower than Morbius, which, God, I don't know how that's possible.
Can I interrupt you for a second? I'm just going to cut in and say Bad Bunny says he's no longer starring in Sony's Il Toro movie.
Oh, so I have no idea. We don't even know what's going on. Sony can't even keep their whole cinematic universe intact. We don't know what but yeah, honestly, that's the perfect summation of everything, because Madam Web sucks. I only have a joke for Madam Web is horrendous. It's terrible. Rod, you can start off. What do you think of Madam Web? I know you're a Dakota Johnson fan, but what do you think about the film as a whole?
The diehard Dakota Johnson fan, as we know.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you. Yes, a diehard Dakota Johnson fan over here. Okay, so let me cook for a second here, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's simmer. Let it cook. Let it cook.
Let him cook. When I wanted to see Dakota Johnson in a comic movie, so when it got announced that she was going to be doing Madam Web, I didn't really know what to think. because a part of me was excited, like very, very excited. And the other part of me was like, why in the absolute hell is Sony doing a Madam Web movie? What is this going to connect to? This is going to be awful. The writing was on the wall. I mean, you're doing a Madam Web movie, and then it just became a joke around at least our podcast circle, like myself, Ben, and some of our other guests that we've had. Like when they started like announcing more and more of the cast guys, it became a little creepy because Sony just like casting all of these very attractive women, and it just became a little creepy. I was like, okay, so Sony clearly is planning something very, very disgusting and gross here because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right, Mac, and it just didn't. I was like, all right, I got Sydney Sweeney and Emma Roberts and Emma Marquette. I like, what's your plan here? Just to get a whole bunch of sips in the theater to watch a 2 hour dumpster fire?
Oh my god.
Hey, look, I'm just being real here.
No, I know.
I'm just being honest. But a part of me, Kirsten, had hope.
Everyone has hope when they purchase a ticket to
I had
see
hope.
any movie.
I had this ticket
I
for
had
free,
hope.
so I'm fine. I just
I
had
hope.
this movie.
We'll discuss my
Kirsten,
thing.
that was
I know. I'm
I had hope.
aware.
I had hope, Kirsten,
I know you do.
and
We all did.
yeah, Mac, this movie sucks. It's not a great movie. No, look, I don't hate this movie. I don't think it is the dumpster fire uh trash that everyone's saying it is. I found some enjoyment with it, but there are things about this movie I wish I just could unsee. And in the last like 5 minutes, I really wanted to throw up. It was just so cringe and just so awful.
How it concludes.
Yeah, the conclusion of this movie is it's
Oh,
so
by the way,
bad.
You mean
We're-
you
we're
don't want Dakota
actually,
Johnson to read your predict your Chinese takeout order?
by the way, we'll be spoiling. We're spoiler warnings. We can spoil this because no one's gonna watch this. Literally, like I looked at Jeremy John's video. That thing is trending for the spoiler talk, so no one cares. So we're spoiling this movie because we're talking about the ending. But is there anything else you want to add before we start, Kristen?
No, yeah, I mean, I'll get into the things I did enjoy, but because there are things about this movie I did enjoy, and oh God, this is just. Go ahead, Kirsten, because I could go on and on. I don't want to. I don't want to take your spotlight.
No. You're the guest, so I'm more than happy to hear. So, I will say this movie came out the week of Valentine's Day. I know it's a manufactured holiday, but it's nice to celebrate the day with people you love.
What a great breakup
Go out
movie.
or stay in.
Hey, babe, you want to go see Madam Web?
um, you go out on the night on the town. You say, hey, you want to catch a flick? Do you want to see Lisa Frankenstein? No. How about Bob Marley, One Love? No. Madam Web. Hell yeah.
At that point, I'd be like, "Are you cheating on me? Are you just taking me to Madam Web to distract me? Like, there's no way you serious. Are you cheating? Are you ice screwing Sydney Sweeney? You dirty dog!"
Oh my
I
God.
will say you do step for the people you love.
Oh my God. Yeah, relationships definitely end. Jesus.
I have a very loving husband. Saw Madam Web together. We're getting divorced.
Oh, I will say, I want to say this now. We were when you texted me that you guys were saying it, I had left the movie, so my mind was already made up. This poor man, you were like, "Hey,
No,
Dylan."
okay, I'm gonna tell him. So this poor man and I I'm just kidding. We're not getting divorced now.
Oh, thank goodness.
This poor man. I love my husband so much. we- I've taken my husband to so many experimental films at this point since we've been married. We've seen a lot of stuff since we've been married.
Can you please clarify? Because people might take that out of context. Like, what the hell y'all going to see?
No, what I mean by his experimental films are like Poor Things
Okay.
and Saltburn, which he
Well,
didn't.
yeah, that's a movie.
He didn't love those movies either.
Yeah, that's
We saw Madam Web, and we walk into this very nice theater that I've never been to before, and it's the theater my husband used to go to when he was growing up. I was so thrilled to go to see and re-experience my husband's childhood, to go see Madam Web. You're living the dream when you revisit your old childhood home theater and you go see the atrocity, what is Madam Web. And my poor husband, we walk in, there's a big poster for Argyle. Oh, Argyle? I want to see Argyle. When's that coming out? It's out. It's like, why can't we see Argyle? I want to go see Argyle. I said, we have to go see this for my podcast.
Love was in the
Things
air.
you do for love. Yeah. He didn't love it. As soon as the credits rolled, we walked right out of the theater. Thank God there were no post-credit scenes. Just that. We just poked fun at it the entire time of shit randomly happening in this film. And the most obscure things we laughed at too.
Mhm.
And I will say this. Shout out to Pepsi.
Yeah.
And this
Pepsi led
one,
to a man's death too. So you blame Pepsi for that too. Yeah.
no, I will say it's one killer product.
Good one. Okay.
All right, Mac, what do you want to dive into first of what the atrocity is, Madam Web?
We're still going? Oh shit.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
still going.
All right, so I guess we need to get the big ass elephant out of the room. The age and when this film takes place. So if you know anything about Madam Web, she's like elderly, like old woman. Like she's pretty much like the godmother of all the spiders. Like she controls the multiverse and everything. And fun fact, if you watch the 90s Spider-Man show, she was actually voiced by Stan Lee's wife, Joan Lee. I found that out the other day. The best Spider-Man TV series. But Madam Web is older lady, bound to a chair and everything. So you're thinking, oh, okay. How are they gonna explain Dakota Johnson, becoming Madam Web? Well, we opened the film in 1973 following Dakota's mom in the Amazon. And obviously the guy who's going to be the villain, and oh my God, I'll get to that. This guy's acting was, I must kill these girls before they kill me and murder me. But, they cut, they're like, the mom is pregnant. They're like, okay, she'll come back to Peru when they need answers. Cut to 30 years later to 2003, and it's 2003 because we got a Blockbuster Video in the screen, and then we see the old school answering machines. We see Dangerously in Love. We hear Britney Spears. Do you guys know it's 2003? So
Toxic.
So yes, this film takes place in 2003. So that's how they explain her being 30. This isn't like, remember in Texas Chainsaw, the 2013 one, where they try to say Alexandra Daddario is like a 40-year-old woman from like 19, like at least they didn't do that, but this is still dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's how they explained it. I thought that was so dumb. I immediately started laughing. I was like, okay, now I know. In a dialogue, like from the jump, that this is gonna be some rough ass dialogue.
I was not impressed with any of the performances in this film. Rod, I know you love your Dakota Johnson. She looked so confused out of everybody in that entire film. And I don't know what was going on with her. This poor woman did not know which way to look, turn, speak, run, do anything, because she just looked so out of place here. Like it didn't feel right. Like I feel like she signed on because I feel like there was like a different script when she was signed on. So I don't know if she was just confused about what to do and what was cut, wasn't cut. I don't know. We all don't know what happened on that set. We will all never know except for the people who worked on that film. But she did not do well, nor did the villain. And I said this in my like thing I put out there for my review, whatever you want to call it. Sony has been casting for all these like spin-off Spider-Man film stuff. They've been casting a lot of people who can't play the villains in these films. Like, I don't know, Matt Smith didn't do a great job, but he was comical in that dancing stuff. We had the barefoot vampire craziness. I don't know what that Morbius was, but in here too, the villain here, I don't know what his deal is. He takes that spider, he uses it for himself, and then Sydney Sweeney and the other girls are gonna be like, all right, we're gonna come after you. For what? For what? What did he do? Like, why are the girls going after him? They're like, there's nothing to this where there's not enough substance or backstory. He is just confused. But I will say, bless you, he's got this like venom in his veins where, he can kill that like, was it like an FBI agent
NSA,
or whoever
NSA.
it was?
Yeah,
NSA,
NSA.
thank you. Thank you. NSA agent where he like instantly kills her with the venom that she has. But yet with Dakota Johnson, one little strangle and she's not even dead. Like there was like a lot of stuff I was questioning here, and I don't know his purpose. All the performance in general did not do it for me. Sydney Sweeney did not do it for me. Nobody, I felt like, did their part justice. I feel like they all tried, but nothing really succeeded on the screen. Like everybody just looked like they were having a rough time. And I feel like this is like the same stuff we saw kind of like maybe more like the Fantastic Four John Trank film where
Josh
it was
Trank.
just like, yeah. Josh Trank? Or did I
Yeah.
say John Trank?
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me, John Trank. Excuse me. So yeah, who wants to rant next?
All
So
right.
wait, before that, I do have a question about the well, I have an answer for the whole timeline. So reading up early Wikipedia, there was reshoots, and they had to remove references originally planned 1990 setting of the film, which is intended to have Andrew Garfield's version of Peter Parker from the Amazing Spider-Man films exist within the film's continuity, but not appear, before the studio decided to instead have this be Tom Holland's version of the character for the MCU Spider-Man films. This resulted in the timeline needing to be adjusted in line with the character's age, with the film ultimately set in 2003. There's also potential for the different Spider-Man characters to appear in costume for one scene, and Snyder believed younger versions of the characters, Mary and Ben Parker, were involved. Yeah, that's it. So that's how they had to fix that, because like we want to have Peter Parker, but we never see Spider-Man in the film because he doesn't exist yet, because this is the timeline of the MCU. That's why Peter's born in 2003, because he's a kid.
So I can't even make up their minds to figure out a right solid direction, which is really, really sad. Like they know they want to make like Disney Marvel money, but they can't with their live action stuff. They do at least have the faith of Phil Lord and Christopher Miller to do what they have with the Spider-Verse, because at least they can trust their filmmakers, and at least they have a solid reputation. With something like this, where they're just like, we got to get people involved, everybody involved, and then it's like, all right, studio coming in, and it's like, big hire execs who don't have more of the creative ability to say what they should do with this property than having our like professionals. Like I don't 100% blame SJ Clarkson at all for this. She was just not fit to direct this film, and I just feel like she was the wrong creative choice for this film.
All right. Well, I'll add a little bit of positivity so to lift our spirits up just for a second here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
So let's to lift our spirits here for a minute or two. Wake your ass up, Mac. Pay attention.
Meg
Don't
is
you
ready
fall.
to
Yeah, don't you fall asleep on me now.
be done with Madam Web.
Yeah, I know. He ready to talk about Medea. Boo 2 and Medea Halloween. I know what Mac ready for.
Oh my God. Bye, Mac. All right, this has been the M&K Productions Podcast.
What's he doing?
Thanks-
What's he doing?
Thanks,
What'd he
Rod,
do?
for coming on.
Oh, he had to get some. He had to get something to drink. See,
Yeah,
see,
he
he's
had to
ready.
get that Powerade to power up.
We're gonna say that's positive, Rod.
Shit, I don't know now.
You saw your favorite actress. That's all I can say.
I did see my favorite actress. That was actually my first Dakota Johnson movie in theaters since Peanut Butter Falcon. Like the
Really?
last couple of years have been VOD and Apple TV Plus and Netflix. So yeah, this was the first one since since Peanut Butter Falcon. And so yeah, I was excited to go see, Dakota back on the big screen. It was exciting. I felt like I felt like a proud person, like I knew her. I was like, man, I got to go see my friend Dakota back on the big screen. Lo and behold, Mac, I didn't know she was going to be in one of the cringiest comic book movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
Did I tell you I saw her in person when I did the Lost Daughter screening?
Now my feelings are hurt, Mac. Now my feelings are hurt. I mean, I'm happy for you, Kirsten. I'm happy you got to see her in person, but now my feelings are hurt. Everyone's meeting Dakota Johnson now.
So, like, at least I don't blame her at all. Like, I think she did okay for what she had to work with.
Hold on. I'm not letting her off the hook.
Oh,
Don't
shit.
you be No. I was into this performance for about the first two acts. And then, like we talked about earlier, the last 5 minutes, it got really campy, really corny, and I wanted to throw my popcorn bucket at the IMAX screen. I really wanted to hurl.
You paid IMAX for this?
Well, I had the A-list, so it covered, the ticket covered the
Still.
IMAX screening. But yeah,
Yeah,
it was
take
not.
that sip back. Yeah, take that sip.
Yeah, that wasn't a sip, Chris. That was a chug. Yeah, he took a big old chug out of that. I think there are moments here where she shines. I think, and Kristen, you know this very well, that she has an awkward sense of. She's a little awkward.
She's
And
awkward. Like
she's a
when you
very
see-
awkward. Her humor is very dry, and so I
I
don't know
will
if that was the right
say,
fit for this kind of role.
I think she has more confidence in other films where she really shines. And I know this is like her thing. Like the only thing is, it just makes me think of the awkwardness like you could see like in, I hate to say it, like a 50 Shades of Grey. Like
Are you gonna make love to me?
She exudes like confidence. I really want to say like in like other films like Cha Cha Real Smooth
Oh, brilliant!
and
Right.
like Lost Daughter. Like she can like, not be awkward. I just think when the material isn't right for her, she doesn't know how to properly quote unquote, I guess really quote unquote deliver. I mean, she's even good in Bad Times at El Royale,
She's
and
fantastic in that movie. Loved
you
her
can
in
even
that.
say Peter Potter Falcon, Our Friend. She was also really great in. Like she can deliver a good performance.
I liked her in High Note.
It should.
Oh, she
Oh
was
yes,
great in High Note. I
yeah.
think that's underrated in my opinion. That's an underrated film.
Like she can like exude confidence in the roles that she gets. This one, she just, like I said, just like looks confused, doesn't know what to do with anything for this.
And I'm
And
not sure, Kirsten. 'Cause I think this goes larger than just Dakota. I think this is what actor or actress could have, because I think what S.J. Clarkson was trying to go for here was, this woman who's kind of standoffish and kind of reserved because of what happened in her upbringing. The fact that her mom died in the Amazon while she was researching spiders, and the fact that she grew up in the foster home system and all that mumble jumble, whatever. So I see what they were going for. And there are moments here where I was like, I'm digging it, but then there are other moments where I was like, it's just not coming off right.
See, they could have
And
had like
then
Charlize Theron play her to get that perfect the spunk of that, to have that little standoffish.
I feel like if they wanted to do like an older Madam Web, since Mac, Madam Web much better than I do. How old is she typically in the series? Like in like the animated series, you can say.
She old, Kirsten. She real old.
Oh no, she really is. How old is? I'm just looking up real quick. Hold up.
Like even older. Like let's say, does she look like in her like 50s?
Straight,
No,
no, like 80s, 90s.
80s? Okay.
Like this is like an older. I'm looking it up. Like,
she's much older.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to looking that up.
yeah, it's
All right.
looking at it.
All right.
I
Well,
just
let's just say if they wanted to do this like idea in the early 2003 and still really get at least an older woman vibe. I know this woman wouldn't have signed on to it though, but what if we got someone like Olivia Colman to take on a role like this?
Olivia Colman wouldn't touch this shit.
I know she wouldn't,
No.
but imagine somebody like her, where she at least had.
Actually, let me take that back. She wasn't Secret Invasion, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Anymore.
and that wasn't really that great either. Even
No,
though
it
she was the best part of that, though. But
I like your idea, Kirsten. If they were going for an older Madam Web, I do like your idea of like an Olivia Colman type, or even like we were just somewhat earlier, like a Helen Mirren. I think Helen Mirren probably would have touched this too.
No, she wouldn't either.
So real quick, I looked it up and it said, this is from National World. How old is Madam Web in the Marvel Comics? Madam Web's exact age in the comics is not known, but she's presented as an elderly woman, although as the movie is an origin story, the character would not be quite as old as the majority of her comic appearances, but she would still be in her mid-50s at least.
Okay, see, so we can do at least a woman who's in her mid-50s. Even somebody like Sandra Bullock would have been fine. At least I think her and Olivia are around the same age. Maybe.
Okay, this would have been a career killer for Sandra Bullock if she did this.
Yeah, true. I mean, we couldn't have had a Halle Berry because you know what's really sad? I'm just even saying this now.
Don't say it.
A lot of the female action film comic book stuff hasn't been as solid as what I think the really great ones are Black Woman is solid enough. Wonder Woman is good, very, very good. I even like the sequel, despite how people didn't really like it. This is reminds me of the stuff what we saw in Catwoman,
Yeah, this is a lot of stuff in here is on that same level as Catwoman, and I still think Catwoman is the worst comic movie I've ever seen. That Morbius and Fan Four Stick, I think are the three worst comic movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and I can't put that in the same category because I did find enjoyment out of this, but I think a lot of this, Mac and Kirsten, comes down to the villain. The villain is the worst comic book villain.
Oh, you mean Black Spider-Man? That's not the cool Black Spider-Man?
Yeah, pretty much back. I mean, let's not even talk about the ADR, Mac. Because the ADR.
Oh my God, yeah. He's like, hey, you see him talking, and he's like, hey, what is this and that and that? And he's just his mouth is just okay.
It's horrendous. But I laugh so hard. There is this. You're wondering where this scene's going. So he's having this one night stand with this woman.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what's happening here?
Yes, with the venom. I was talking about this earlier.
Yeah, where is this going? And then after they have sex, they proceed to tell this woman he's in bed with, Mac, I'm about to kill these girls. I'm
yeah. He's like, you ever have dreams of you dying? I'm like, what? Hello? I don't know if that makes sense or not. He's just like, you ever had these dreams before? And then she just magically turns out to be an NSA agent. He's like, I've heard that there's a new.
She's got the gun in her in her purse. She's ready to go. Tracked her down too. Went to that opera for that one night stand, and then is like, all right.
He didn't even do anything.
Time to die.
No. He didn't even do anything to get her out of bed. He just smiled at her really creepily,
we all know what happened. They did the devil's tango, and then she died, which is sad.
I'm just are we really being this lazy right now? Are we really being this lazy? Mac, this movie is so full of conveniences.
Oh, how all of them happen to be on the train station when he makes his first attack.
Yes.
Just out of nowhere. And Dakota Johnson is the worst child kidnapper I've ever seen in my entire life. This one is terrible. Just Mac, the worst of the. Not only does she kidnap children, then she leaves them in the woods.
Hey, I'm going to Peru for a week, so look after them. I'll be right back. Because I made a joke. So if
she took a long trip to Peru.
So, like I mentioned before, she was born in Peru. She was raised by spider people. And yes, there are spider people who look like Tobey Maguire's suit, but they're just covered in red mud and like vines. And they have, my God, the CGI for when they were carrying the mom in the beginning, I knew I was like, holy hell, this is some Morbius style editing. And like I knew for a fact, like I
They
made
moved like Morbius
They
too,
did.
just like flying around, jumping through the trees, and I was
Like-
like, "What is going on?"
because the guy who helped her mom give birth said, when she comes back, I'll have the answers. I made a joke like, oh, she probably like, what if she goes back to Peru? And then it happens. She just goes to Peru. First of all, if this takes place in 2003, she's taking a flight internationally when it was the worst time to like fly, like everything was so locked down.
Yeah,
Like, I don't want to be like Mr. Enter, be like Turning Red takes place in 2002. It's the da 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 da. But I'm like, what? You just go to Peru and you just come back? Don't even mention how she gets back that quickly. And I thought it was just a joke. I'd be like, I'm going to Peru. Then she gets pushed in the water and goes into like
Hold on. She is still a fugitive from the law.
Yes,
She
yeah, and
somehow
she gets
got
on the plane,
international
and this
flights.
is just happening after
9/11.
a huge terrorist event happened in New York,
Yes.
and now she just. And to be fair, the girls weren't trapped in the woods; they were trapped in Adam Scott's house, or quote unquote not Aunt May's apartment, or Aunt Mary, whatever you want to call her.
So she's not Aunt May. That is
Yeah, I know. I'm
yeah.
just saying the
Mary.
wrong name.
It's too confusing. I get it.
Emma Roberts' place. They're strapped somewhere, and then they all have
Okay.
a sleepover.
All right, I know we're all over the place right now, but can we just rewind and talk about that very, very awkward party she goes to?
Oh, the baby shower.
The baby shower. So awkward.
She looks like she's like, oh, I'm not like the other girls. Like, you notice how she's like in like jeans and stuff, and everyone's like pretty in dresses, and she's like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like,
Whatever.
what in the
Like,
world?
they're like, what's the baby's name? And then the balloon pops. I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, were they gonna say Peter, but they can't say Peter?
Would be funny if it was like Eddie Brock or something, man. It's just
It's like
simple Eddie. instead
here's
of-
Eddie.
Yeah,
No, here's
it's
Ben.
Venom.
It's Ben Riley. It's Scarlet Spider.
Oh, that would have been funny.
But
That
shout out
would've
to,
been funny.
I was like, oh, Mike Epps is in this, and then he dies. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I was like, oh, cool, he's in
They
this. And
somehow
then-
found a way to kill the black guy still. It just
Honestly.
it blows my mind. And Max, she could have stopped it. She could have stopped it, but the black man was like,
she
"No,
kind
I'm
of
fine."
tried to, and then she's like, let me drive, and he's like, no, and then he just gets in the car anyways, and she's
and
just like,
also,
let's them die.
it's not really explained how her. Did they explain like how her power works? Like, should we explain how it works for her? Like, she can see like the future and different outcomes.
Listen, if you really want to know how her powers work, if you watch That So Raven, you know how her powers work. That's
That's
how
what
her
I
powers
think
work.
of. I would have rather watched That's So Raven, honestly, than watch what.
That's how, because Kirsten's gonna get a migraine. She tries to explain to everybody how the powers work. Man, don't put Kirsten.
Well,
through that.
is it like That's a Raven in like Groundhog's Day? Because she died a couple times and she just had the vision. Like,
Yeah, it's like That's So Raven meets Final
Vision.
Destination.
yeah,
That's the best way to put it. And look, I will say this: the diner scene was actually some of my favorite sequence in this entire movie, just because of when she's having the vision of the girls dying. Some of the stuff there was kind of brutal. I was like, oh shit, Sony went there. Okay.
Oh, when he like snaps Sidney Sweeney's neck, this across the thing.
It's
I was like, damn. Oh my god. Can we talk about the three girls who are gonna be the Spider-Womans? Like, they had nothing for me to really attach me to them.
No,
I found them annoying. Like, the skateboarder girl was the worst because she's the daughter of the
another
rich
edgy one.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god. And then the one girl's like, yeah, like you hear about their backstories, but it's like, I'm not attached to you because like the skater girl, her parents don't want her because they're rich. The other girl, her dad got deported. Like what? Like I know it's like
Yeah.
what is it? Sorry, go ahead, Kristen.
Like they all just reveal their trauma at once in the motel room, and it's like, oh, trauma dump, and then it's like, let's learn CPR.
Yeah, like, and then Cindy Sweet's like, yeah, my mom's in the psych ward, and I don't think my dad's new family wants me. Dakota Johnson, yeah, I was in the foster care. Let's learn some CPR because it's gonna really get into the third act somehow. But like, now that I realize these writers are the same one who did the 2017 Power Rangers movie, and I kind of like the Power Rangers movie, like in a guilty pleasure form. There was a scene in that movie where they're all on a fire revealing their trauma dump. And this is when the Yellow Ranger was like, yeah, I'm having relationship problems, guy problems. No, and it was like, the Yellow Ranger's gay? What? And then like that was what it reminded me of. It's like I always hate it in movies when they have to like force you to feel something for the characters. That's what I did. And it's like they were very annoying too. And then like it was more like, oh my gosh, you're not a good. And then the last night they say, now you're really showing off. It's like they're trying to do one-liners. Like you're showing off.
I actually really enjoyed that Power Rangers movie, but that part was a little like, okay, all right, that was a little cheesy there.
I like the opening
But
joke.
that Power Rangers movie reminded me, Mac. Madam Web was trying to be like that Power Rangers movie.
Yes,
It's very clear. It's very, very clear that they were trying to be exactly like that because but at least in the Power Rangers movie, when they actually suit up, it works.
they
Like,
actually
it's actually
suited up in that
entertaining.
movie, and not just the
Yes.
vision at the end in Madam Web. We never even got these girls in their final form. Kristen, did you see the Power Rangers movie?
I don't really remember it all that much. I
Well,
think I did.
I remember the ending where they're like, it's going to be a sequel because Tommy's in it, and then it got canceled. But I think they're doing another movie. Like that was a faster cancellation than the Ghostbusters 2 with the women. Like that got canceled immediately.
It's just funny how these are all like Sony related
Like-
problems.
But no, like one thing about the whole thing, the concept, like I remember the trailers are like, we're gonna see the 3 Spider Women. They're never suited up in the movie because this is technically an origin story because Dakota Johnson is gonna teach them how to become the Spider Women. And like we never see them in the suit until the end because it's them in the future. Because Dakota Johnson said the future's not written yet.
You know, the
And-
more we're talking about this, the more I want to lower my rating I put on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
What'd you give it?
I love the letterbox reviews for this film.
I gave it a
know
half
what-
star.
I gave it
Half
2.5.
star.
I'm
Oh, you're too nice.
You're
I
too
always
nice.
I might be lowering it to a 1.5 now. I don't know.
The more I feel like the more you think about it, like of this film, you go, okay, maybe Morbius isn't that bad then.
Wow,
I don't
Morbius
know.
is just-
No,
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 I
no,
don't say
no,
I
I'm
don't
just
know.
kidding.
That's I even said in my review, I said I genuinely don't know like if I can say Morbius is better or worse than this. Like I don't know.
I
Morbius is
said
at least
for
funny.
mine, at least with Morbius now, I make more jokes about Morbius than the film itself to my husband. We react to the memes more
Mhm.
of that. Like there's at least humor to that. Madam Web has nothing going for it.
They're really no. There's not really
That's
anything
the
memeable.
same way how I felt about Fantastic Four. Like you can't even meme on that.
Listen, you can meme
At
on
least for Morbius, you can.
the 2015 Fantastic Four movie, you'd be like, it's fantastic. What'd you say?
I know. Besides
It's
that
fantastic.
line, it's fantastic. Yes.
Hey guys,
Fantastic.
no, I saw that in theaters, and when that happened, I laughed because it was me and my mom was like, "Hey,
I was
Mom,
dying.
fantastic! It's fantastic!" Oh, that poor cast. I'm glad they all recovered, but
That
good
poor-
God, man.
Did they recover from it back? I mean, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan did. Jamie Bell hasn't really recovered from that movie.
He's done
Kate
a few
Mara
things.
has
Kate Mara has done some
good.
things.
No, I said Kate Mara has. Jamie Bell
Oh.
hasn't though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jamie Bell. No, well here, Jamie Bell and Kate Mara got together in the end.
So he
That's
won.
right. They did get married. Yeah. So he
And hey,
did win.
Josh Trank did it Capone, so I think he's fine.
It's not called Capone. It's called Old Man Shit on Himself for 2 hours. The movie.
It's old
Yes,
man Carrot.
fair
with
enough.
Tommy Gunn. No, and then like God, what's another thing in Madam Web I want to talk about?
Do we
no,
have to? I mean, look.
I have nothing else to say.
Wait, can we talk
I
more about
am,
the
like-
villain? How dumb it was with like the plot twist that like he's the one that killed her mom and how he was connected to all of them in a way, pretty much like you shot my mom who was pregnant, and how she got to talk to her mom. And
That was obvious. That was shown in the film.
Or just like how she got to talk to her mom in the webverse.
I didn't mind that scene. The whole webverse, I didn't mind it. I thought that was actually kind of a moment I was like, okay, I'm, I'm digging this. I'm digging this moment.
But did you like to see when
It's just
she helped everyone at the same time?
I just like it how then in that
no,
one
that was stupid.
punch.
She like
Yes,
she
that was very
she
stupid.
she
That
astral
one punch.
project
and then-
she freaking astral project. They steal a seed straight from Doctor Strange. I'm not kidding. When he pushed her, it was literally Doctor Strange because he's like, "Do you trust me?"
Yes.
Yeah, it's literally Doctor Strange. And
I might have to lower my letterbox score.
well, the question is like,
No stars.
how do you guys fix this? How do we fix Madam Web?
There's no way to fix it. This
Should we
was
just
the final product.
should we just cancel it?
Mac, you can't fix this kind of movie because Madam Web shouldn't have even happened in the first place.
I feel like
Um,
if Sony got their stuff together, like this would have been a good movie to like make in the middle because you already had Venom, then you have Miles Morales, you have Madam Web who connects all of them. It could be like the central focus of their Sony verse, whatever they're doing. But then they are so weird on how they do their movies because Venom is first. They do Venom 2, and then Morbius takes place
Ugh.
during your first Venom. Now you have Kraven the Hunter, which no one even cares about. Holy hell. If Kraven the Hunter is worse than Madam Web, then I think Sony needs to. When's Disney going to buy Sony? They're like, we'll just buy you out if we can't get the damn rights to Spider-Man at this point.
I have a feeling Craven will at least be. I think Craven's going to be more on the level of that first Venom movie, where it's probably going to be really dumb, but there's going to be enough action there where to kind of hold people over. Be like, okay, you know what? At least the action was fun.
Mhm.
You know, and Aaron Johnson's probably going to give a pretty solid performance. But with this, you introduce a character like this in something like a Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
You don't do a solo movie on Madam Web.
An origin solo.
You just
movie.
don't. No, you don't. You just don't. You don't do this type of movie. I think the better way, if you're asking me how to fix this, you introduce her in the MCU as some sort of a guide for Peter. I don't know how, Mac, or better yet, do her as an animated character in the Spider-Verse movies. That's probably even better.
That's probably even 10 times
if-
better.
if they would-
I just said it probably would have even been 10 times better.
If
They
they
would have gotten great casting for it. Like they probably could have gotten like a Helen Mirren to be voicing that character.
honestly, she would have been. She would be better than the next one, the last one, because she would be the one that's connecting all the Spider people. Like, listen, like helping Miles out. Like that'd be cool. Or like even you could have done No Way Home. Like Sony can like, can you help us launch our universe, please? Can you put Madam Web in the movie? Like that would have been because everyone's like, oh, cool. Because like I like it in the beginning with any Sony movie, it says in association with Marvel. Marvel's like, not us. We didn't do this. It was Sony.
We didn't touch this.
This is Sony.
This is Sony's fault.
But Sony has all of the damn Spider-Man villains. So like it's like at what point do you just be like, because I know the reason why they make these movies is because they want to keep the rights to these because they have to keep making those movies. They have to keep making the movies. That's what Fox was doing for Fantastic Four until
Mhm.
Marvel got it back. But like at what point, if you're Sony, do you're like, okay, this has not worked. We've tried this whole Sinister Six, like this has gone back since like Spider-Man 3 when they try to do all the villains at once, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2 and it's Sinister Six, and like could this work if they had like a Kevin Feige figure, not Amy Pascal, fucking Amy Pascal, if they had like someone running it and saying, okay, should they have a James Gunn or Kevin Feige say, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this, 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 and this. Here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna just like let you guys like let the directors just do your vision and let's we're not gonna interfere. Just do it.
No, because Mac, this whole idea has just been bad from the start because they're trying to make these villains anti-heroes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Mhm.
As much as I enjoyed the first Venom, that film still has a lot of problems. I think that first Venom movie, Mac, is still the best in the whole Sony spin-off universe.
Mhm.
This is actually probably my second favorite because I do not like Let There Be Carnage. I generally think that's a terrible movie that's saved by a very entertaining third act. And then I think Morbius is Morbius, one of the worst comic movies I've ever seen. So saying that, Mac, should let you know that they need to go ahead and just can this whole thing once Venom 3 and Craven come out.
But what if they don't?
Maybe
want
they
to?
will. Then
If
they
they
got to
got
get the right people and they have to find people who have ambition and know the source material. Like
Well, apparently they may want to
Truly.
do a.
Even though, no, I can't say that because S.J. Clarkson did work on the Defenders, I
She
think,
did.
for a
Yeah,
couple of
she did.
episodes.
You are correct.
So, so she knew. It's just Sony's got to knock it off and maybe be like, stop interfering with what they're touching. And I think that's the main problem, because I think that's what a majority of people have said that in multiple reviews I at least have seen and agree, like said that it was the Sony problem,
Sony knew this film was shit,
and
Yeah.
they knew it was gonna be
and
shit.
I'm starting to wonder, Mac, why they just didn't do with it what Warner Brothers did with Bad just axed it.
Because
Just axed it.
they're like, whatever money we can get, we will release these. But like I was saying, they have to have someone come in, like, maybe they have a David Zaslav type person come into Sony, like, listen, I'm cleaning house. Like, I would tell you, if I have money, I'm gonna buy Sony or become the president. I'm like, listen, we are cleaning house. First of all, I'm firing all of you. I'm axing, we're not doing Craven. Well, actually, I'll be like, you know what? We're gonna move Craven straight to DVD. Or no, you know what? Craven will still in theaters. That's the last one we're ever doing. And then we're doing Venom, and then that's it. Then we're gonna hit a reset, and then I am going to sell these assets to Marvel, and we're never touching this again. We will keep Miles Morales. When we're done with Miles, we will give it to them, but everything else we're giving to them. So they have villains and everything like that. And then we're gonna focus on Ghostbusters. We're gonna focus on anything else besides Spider-Man, because Sony with Spider-Man, when it's not, and I'm scared now because, well, Phil or Chris Miller, I know that it is Sony. Sony has a horrendous reputation for stepping in and just messing up, particularly Spider-Man projects. Sam Raimi, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, say what you will, I like the first Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I have a soft spot for that movie now, and like I can tell that Mark Webb even said, like, Mark Webb was like, yeah, Sony really screwed me up in the second film, because they were like, hey, put all these villains in your movie. And then they're like, they have this weird, like, fascination of just wanting to just shoehorn as much people as you can. Like, it's kind of like what DC's problem was when they're like, let's just do Superman and go straight to the Justice League after that. Like, they're not letting it build up, even if they want to do this whole anti-hero universe, which, to be honest, they don't even know the timeline, because there's so many reshoots, because they're trying to time it with the MCU, what they're doing. Because I swear, Madam Web, when she went back into her apartment, I thought that was the same alley that was in the trailer for Morbius when they saw the poster for Spider-Man. Did anyone else think that?
Yeah, I thought that too, Mac. I was like, wait, are we about to? No. Okay. All right. Good.
So,
But
and it just doesn't make any. I'm really confused. Like, people are just confused because you're like, is this a Marvel movie? No, it's not a Marvel movie. This is Sony.
well, the one thing I am happy about is it's just not going to be a career killer like I thought it was going to be for Dakota.
Mhm.
I think she'll bounce back just fine. I think a lot of the cast will be just fine. Uh, I think Sydney will be fine. I think Adam Scott will be fine. Isabel, well, Isabel's going over to DC now anyway, so she'll be fine. And
Who's
then
she playing
Celeste
in
O'Connor, I
DC?
don't know too much about. She's playing Hawkgirl, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, she's fine.
Yeah, so she'll be fine. Dakota, Curtis, I said this for a while about Dakota on our pod. Like, I think she's better off doing smaller to mid-budget type films. I think that's more
Art
suited towards her
house
acting.
films that fit
Yep.
her. I don't think, like I said earlier, I think she doesn't have the pressure, or like, not the pressure,
She
but she
doesn't.
doesn't have the edge to do big budget films that are like what we
No,
saw in 50 Shades of Grey, because this is just a repeat of that.
it really is. It really is. But like, they showed the trailer for Daddy-O, Kirsten, before they showed Madam Web, and I was like, oh my God, that looks incredible. And that's with her and what's the guy's name, Kirsten? Sean
Oh,
Penn.
I didn't even they didn't show that film trailer for mine. They showed a whole bunch of other like big budget films for mine, for my
Okay.
theater. So I didn't even get to see that trailer.
It was, well, because Darren was telling me, because Darren saw that Sundance last year. No, not Sundance. What was the other festival? TIFF.
TIFF.
And he thought it was terrific. I talked to a couple of guys who said it was really good, who went to TIFF last year. So I'm looking. It's supposed to come out this summer, so she'll be fine. She just needs to go back to doing more, like you said, Kirsten, more art house, smaller indie film, smaller independent films that's more suited towards her style of acting. Where, like you said, Kirsten, she doesn't have to have the weight of the world on her shoulders. Now, there's one person in this cast, guys, who probably needs to go find a job at 7-Eleven.
Oh no.
Tahir Rahim needs to probably not act for because Mac, I have never seen a worse comic book performance than him.
You know what's funny is
I
that he
think he's
actually
genuinely awful.
he was in Napoleon. That's the worst part. So he's had a long, lengthy career.
He was nominated too for a Golden Globe. Might have been two. He was in The Serpent. I think that earned him the Golden Globe.
So
He did earn a Golden Globe for the Moritarian, the one that Jodie Foster won back in like 2021, I think it was.
So I think this is a man who just saw the script, was like, I don't give a shit. That is, I don't give a shit.
No, I think he auditioned and was like, Sony was like, all right, this is good enough.
But yeah, there's something.
I was surprised when he was casted, but I did forget Emma Roberts was casted. But sorry, go ahead. Talk about more of the villain.
His performance is just like, yes, I will murder these girls because before they murder me, you don't even care about these girls, Cassie. Like, what? You don't even know. I was like, oh my god. And then like Rod mentioned earlier, the ADR for like his, like, it just doesn't match up what he's talking to. And then like his suit was so dumb because they're like, see, we have Spider-Man, but it's our own Venom Spider. Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
I have nothing really else to say.
Yeah, I'm kind of done talking about. I feel like
do our own spoiler review on Monday for this, so I'm trying to like save all my thoughts for when we have to talk about this shit again in 48 hours.
If you want guests for that, I am down to come on to talk more shit about this movie, and especially the ending.
Oh Lord,
because
it's something, Mac. I tell you,
that ending. Can we talk? Okay, I guess one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up. What do you guys think about the ending? Where they're like, "Hey,"
I think we all kind of agreed earlier that the ending wasn't great.
No, Kirsten is shit.
How she got
shit.
How she became blind and out of nowhere wheelchair bound.
Yeah, when
that
did you
one hit at the end when she they knocked her off the building and.
Yeah, I saw the hit her eye, and I knew she was blind. But then I don't know where the paralyzed came from.
No, we all saw when she got hit. But that's what I was trying to wonder back. I was like, when did she get paralyzed? When did that happen?
Hit her so hard.
And then the ending's like,
they're
like, do you see the future? Because like Madam Web is blind in the comics and is bound to a chair, and she becomes like one with the life of Web life, and she's like, I see you guys having very prosperous futures and fighting for what you believe in, and I will train you guys, and like. They are all in their suits, even Dakota Johnson in a Madam Web suit. And you never see that in the movie because it's like trying to tease, like, hey, here's a sequel, but we're never getting a sequel. There's no plans for a sequel. Like, Sony hasn't been like, yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to check Box Office Mojo real quick.
Right now, it's sitting at $8.2 million with an $80 million budget.
So it's going to lose money, Kirsten, but it's not going to lose as much money as most other comic movies have in this past year.
The only thing is I feel like it's going to make like Morbius money because the way that people have been turning up with nobody at these screenings,
that was empty on my screen.
Same. I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah, so right now
nobody cares.
Domestically, well, to be fair, it is only released domestically on Wednesday, so I don't know if they're getting a full release, but yeah, it is sitting at $8.2 million.
And the fact that it has made less money than the Bob Marley movie, and I have yet to see the Bob Marley movie, and it looks really good. But that's a sign, there's other stuff out there. See anything else but Madam Web.
So yeah, I don't see any international release, so I think it's all going to be domestically. And right now its budget is $80 million, so this is going to be like a horrible loss for them. Because like I said, it was packed opening night. I saw the tickets for that and nobody next day.
Yeah, because the people saw it that day.
Exactly. The people who wanted to see it saw it that Wednesday night, that sometime on that Wednesday.
And now nobody really has an interest after that.
So, and actually, Chris, it's funny to talk about Bob Marley because, my buddy and I were waiting in line to get our, food. A lot of people were holding like those Bob Marley posters and stuff. I was like, a lot of people were going to see the Bob Marley movie. Even though that's not getting the best reviews either, I don't think. So
no,
but I still want to see it. I like the concept of it, honestly, and I think might be it's going to be an important story to tell. So I'm very interested in watching it. All right, let's score this thing.
F.
F for me, 0 out of 10, negative a billion,
Goddamn, Chris. Shit.
whatever. I don't like it. I am bored talking about it now. I just am like so done. We're not saying anything new that has been said already, which is sad because everyone has pretty much been on the same point as it. But yeah, Rod, what's your review or score?
Probably a D plus.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, I'm solid at D plus. I could tell some people were trying. I did like some of the quieter moments. The first two acts didn't annoy me. I was able to find some enjoyment in those first two acts, but that third act is just so off. It is so rushed. It is so awful. And the villain is I've already said he is the worst villain of any comic movie. And I'm even going one step further. I think he might be one of the worst villains just in the movies, period. Like he is terrible. So I'll say D plus. But you ask me tomorrow, Mac. You ask tomorrow morning, I might say F. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see because it's a bad movie. So
All right. Well, thank you, Rod, and thank you, Max. So that has been our review. Let us know if you've seen Madam Web, and if you plan on seeing it, just don't see Madam Web. Don't be
Wait till
like
it shows
us
up on
and
Netflix.
watch it. All right, let's get into our last topic, and that is, what have we been watching? All right, let's start with our guest, Rod. And you want to quickly just go off as we conclude. What have you been watching lately? TV and other films besides Madam Web?
well, aside from the numerous viewings, Chris, of Madam Web that I have lined up this weekend, I'm
You
just
got
kidding.
more screenings?
I have like 8 more screenings of Madam Web.
Why?
I was kidding. I don't.
Oh my God, you scared me for a minute.
See, Matt, look at that. Matt was about to kill me. Look at him. I think he's buying a plane ticket right now to come down and kill me.
I think Sony would have flown you out
They would
and
have. They
asked you,
should have flown me out.
why did you purchase 8 more tickets to Madam Web? They would have tracked you down like the way the villain in Madam Web tracked you down. The cyber girl that tracked you down.
What a waste. Oh my God, we didn't even get to her. Anyway, I just finished Monarch on Apple TV Plus. I thought that was okay. The last half,
Okay.
the back half of that season was very good. Curb Your Enthusiasm, the last season, been watching that. Just binged a few Netflix series over the past couple weeks, and I binged Mr. and Mrs. Smith last week, and that was, or a week before, and I love that show, Kirsten. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is on Amazon Plus, is absolutely fantastic with Donald Glover and Maya Erskine. That
Yeah.
is absolutely fantastic. And there is this show on Amazon right now that I am absolutely in love with Nicole Kidman called Expats.
I've
It is
heard of that.
wonderful. It's very emotional. I've got 2 episodes I got to catch up on as of right now, but so I'll be doing that over the weekend. But I've been watching a lot, so I don't want to rattle off everything in case someone else is watching it too. But that's just some of the stuff I've been watching TV wise. Movie wise, I've been slacking, Kirsten. I really have. I've
okay.
been kind of been focusing on TV the past few weeks, but really for the past this whole entire year. So I'm trying to get caught up. I will say I did watch. What did I watch the other day? No, that was not a 2024 release. So yeah, I've been slacking on 2024 releases. I think as of right now, I've seen like 6 or 7 2024 new releases. So I'm slacking.
That's okay.
I have been TV focused these first 2 months of 2024.
That's okay. Mac, what have you been watching?
So I saw The Beekeeper a few weeks ago in theaters. That was my first 2024 release, and of course, this movie on web. Then on TV, I've been doing a lot more throwback binge watching. Was caught up on The Bear, caught up on Ted Lasso.
Excellent. Excellent.
Me and my mom, we started The Sopranos because I always told her I wanted to do a binge watch, and
Awesome.
because it just turned 25 years old this year. I was like, fuck, that's damn, like we're about the same age in The Sopranos. So I'm watching that, and holy shit, that's a great show. I've been slowly watching some older stuff like Gem and the Holograms and like some of the older movies. Like I mentioned, I watched Godzilla -1. I've been watching a lot of the older monster movies. I actually just sat down and watched the King Kong 2005 Peter Jackson movie. I have not seen that in 10 years because I remember I was bored watching it because it was like it's so long. And then I got the DVD and I watched it and I'm like, man, Namely watch what happened to you. Um but yeah, no, that's what I've been watching.
All
That's
right, really.
my favorite monster movie, Mac, is that King Kong 2005. I love that movie so much.
I do
I
too.
love the fact you've been watching Ted Lasso and The
Oh.
Bear, the greats, the greats, the greats, the greats.
Yes.
I've watched a couple of TV shows. I watched Death and Other Tea Tales, which is a show I'm not really a fan of. I can't get into it that much, but
Is,
I feel it's
is that the murder mystery show, Kirsten, on Hulu?
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like,
It didn't look that
I
good.
just no, it's not. I just am watching it and I'm just like, all right, Mandy Patinkin, okay. I like Mandy Patinkin, but yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I've also been watching, and that's also really good. I'm enjoying that. I'm surprised how it turned out.
Right?
Better than I thought, and it's
Yeah.
actually, I think, even better than the original film.
Yes, no, Kirsten, I'm with you on that 100%. I think this is the best version.
Let's see
The
what else am
better
I
version.
watching.
Excuse me.
No, it's okay. I'm watching True Detective season 4. I love this season, and
Oh,
I think it's great. And I'm excited to watch the final episode. It's gonna air tonight. And then I saw Out of Darkness, the horror film that just came out. Small indie film. And I saw Lisa and Frankenstein, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And yeah, that's mostly it.
I've been curious with Lisa Frankenstein because I love a good rom-com. So I might go venture out and see that,
It's
Kirsten.
a horror camp. It's more horror camp.
Okay.
And that has like rom-com. It's more camp. It's fun. And it's like the old school 80s film. So like in my review, I said, think of Heathers, of like that. If you've
Well, it's
seen
getting a lot of
Heathers.
comparisons to Jennifer's Body. 'Cause I guess the writer.
Yeah,
right?
Diablo Cody wrote Jennifer's Body, and she wrote this.
Okay.
So yeah, go Diablo Cody. I really loved it. It's really original, great concept. Zelda Williams, who is Robin Williams' daughter, makes her directorial debut with that film and knocks it out of the park. And I can't wait to see what she does next. But that's all for me.
I heard
Matt.
it got dark, Kirsten, too. That movie. I heard it goes into some pretty dark places.
No, it does.
Okay.
Mac, I think that's it.
Yes, I'm really tired. I don't know, like the laughing fit. I'm just tired.
I think we're all just tired.
Yeah.
Talking about Madam Web.
But Rod, thank you so much for coming on again, man. It was fun. We gotta have you on more for this. If we're gonna do the Godzilla one, we will definitely have you on. I gotta talk to the co-hosts over here, see what we can do for that to fit it in. But Rod, where could the good folks find you at?
You can find me a couple different places. You can find me on my personal film Instagram page. That's the Cinema Gallery with 3 L's in it. You can find me and my other co-host, my wonderful friend, Mr. Benjamin Saunders, on the Infinity Film Podcast that we do every week. This upcoming week, or this episode releasing this weekend, we talk all things Haley Steinfeld and her filmography. So look forward to that. And then, of course, next week, Matt, we will have our infamous Madam Web spoiler review, which it should be interesting. And then you can find me and Kristen at the Critic Circle and the League of Cinephiles over there as well. So that's where you can find me in all the places.
Awesome. And all that will be linked in the description below. And Kristen, you want to find folks what we have in store for them for the coming episodes?
Yes, our next episode is our Oscar special.
Yay.
Yes, Oscar special. We're going to talk all about our predictions for this year as the usual. Hopefully we have a nice special guest. So stay tuned for that. And of course, we got some special episodes planned. Hopefully some advanced screeners again.
Yeah.
So for now, be sure to follow us on all our social platforms, like on YouTube and Instagram and Spotify and Apple Podcasts, all that fun stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for tuning in and listening.
Yeah, what she said. I've been Mac. This has been Kristen, and especially guest Rod. We'll see you all. If you listen to the M&K Productions Podcast, we'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Fuck you in the lanes you came with. Me and you ain't on the same shit. You ain't in my lane, bitch. Nah, all that shit in fifth. Rollie on my wrist. Ay, baby, you a star. I'm my only wish. I'm counting blue hundreds. I'm too money. Ay, and my little bitch, she too lovely. Yeah, hanging up and calling me right back. Ay, baby, why you calling me like that? Yeah, getting high with the seat laid back. Baby, gon' relax, yeah. Hey, they don't know the half, and no matter what happened, I got your back.